Here we go with Ben. Pronouns are he, him in the UK. Wants to talk about abortion. It says, and this is highlighted here, Ben, that you say a woman makes a choice to have sex. What if they don't?
Hello, Matt. Yeah, okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Did you hear me?
Hmm?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. Yeah.
So it says here, you said that a
obviously-
woman made a choice to have sex. What if they didn't make a choice?
That's true. That's true. And in those cases, I think that should be a special consideration. But
Okay.
in
So
certain-
now
in
your
certain
now your
circumstances-
issue. So now your issue here is that life has value unless it's life produced by rape.
No. But I mean, it still has value if it's by rape, but obviously we should litigate for those certain circumstances because it's,
Why?
this.
If somebody if somebody is raped and carries their baby to term, it's a person just like anybody else, right?
Yeah.
So how can you be anti-choice but make exceptions for rape? Do you make an exception for incest too?
No, I would say it's not. If I'm honest, and I'm coming this from, like I don't believe in God, me personally. Sorry, you're talking. I'm watching you on the screen, so.
Don't watch on the screen.
I've got
That's
my
like
volume.
30 seconds behind. Stay with me on the phone. Focus.
Okay.
So,
Look, the thing is, like, I don't know the answer to this, and this is why I'm bringing it up to ask about it, in terms to talk about it. But
okay, it's
I
really
don't
easy, Ben. I swear this is really easy. Do you think that any person should have the right to use somebody else's body without that person's consent?
I think that's wrong. I think that's the wrong way to look at it because
No,
the
I'm
woman is
asking
giving
you a
consent
question.
by-
I'm asking you a question. Do you think
Yeah,
that
but you're
any
framing
person-
it in a way that it's like
I
can
don't
only
give a
say
shit.
yes.
Answer the
Sorry,
question.
I can only say no.
I'm sorry, Ben, that the question is really fucking
I don't know.
inconvenient
No,
for
I-
your
no, I-
ignorant
No, I don't.
position.
No, I don't. No, I don't think so. Obviously, no, I don't think
Okay.
so. Obviously, nobody
So
should
if
be
you
able
don't
to use
think-
anybody's
if you
woman,
don't think-
body without consent.
Ben, if you don't think that a person should have the right to use somebody else's body without their consent, then your only viable position is to be allowing women to make the choice, or pregnant people to make the choice to no longer remain pregnant, because otherwise you're arguing for special rights for fetuses.
But is a fetus not a human being?
Doesn't matter. You just said that
Yeah.
you are
No,
not in
what do you mean it
favor.
doesn't matter.
Ben, listen. For fuck's sake. You just said that no person should have the right to use somebody else's body without their consent, correct?
That is correct. But
If a fetus
it's a
is
special
in fact a
situation.
person,
Because
if a
it's
fetus,
different
oh my
situation.
God.
You're framing
Ben?
it. You're framing it in.
Ben, if you're not going to listen, I'm going to drop you. You agreed that no person should be able to use another person's body without their consent. If a fetus is a person, it still falls under that. And if a fetus is not a person, now you're basically arguing that someone or something that is not a person should get to use somebody else's body without their consent. So how do you get around that? Ben?
Oh, sorry. Well, what do you mean? How do I get around it? Well, yeah, but then if a fetus is a person, then is that using that woman's body without consent?
Yes.
That's the point.
If a woman, if a pregnant person doesn't want to remain pregnant and you force them to, you are now forcing them
Okay.
to allow someone else to use their body without their consent.
Okay. So if a fetus is a person, yeah, you agree with that?
No, I don't agree with that at all. I'm saying that for the sake of argument, even if a fetus is a person, you have already said people don't get to use other people's body without their consent. So even if a fetus were a person, even if a fetus were a person, it wouldn't have the right to use somebody else's body. I don't think a fetus is a person, so it definitely doesn't have the right to use somebody else's body.
Okay, fair enough. But then, that's fine. I don't think that though, because a fetus is a person. I think
it's not.
So,
but even if it is, let's stop with the personhood doesn't fucking. Ben, for the sake of this discussion, I will grant you your view that a fetus is a person is 100% correct for this discussion. And yet you've already acknowledged that no person should be able to use another person's body without their consent. So it doesn't matter if it's a person, it doesn't get to use somebody else's body.
How do you know that it's not the fetus using the other person's body?
It absolutely is. If a fetus could survive outside of that person, then it would. Abortion isn't the right to kill or terminate a pregnancy. And pregnancy terminations can result in a dead fetus because a fetus can't survive without the pregnant person's body providing it with nutrients and sustenance. And go ahead.
No, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm a bit timed out, so I'm watching you on the screen. I'll turn it off. I'm listening to you now. Sorry.
Yeah. And you realize that there are a number of pregnancy types that where an abortion is the only responsible thing to do to save the life of the mother, right? Because that's all it is. It's terminating a pregnancy. And if you terminate the pregnancy before science is able to support the child, that's a problem. But that's a problem science needs to solve. And until it does, yes, that is the unfortunate result. But
yes,
I mean,
in principle, I understand that. But at the same time, look, men and women, they obviously have natural processes that they go through. One of them is producing the next generation, which is people. Yes, I understand that there's rape. I understand that there's edge cases where
but see, this is where you're missing the point. Yes, men and women have biological processes, but the choice to allow someone to use your body lies with the person who owns the body, not with anybody else. So, for instance, if I needed a kidney and was going to die without a kidney, do I have the right to demand to use your kidney?
No, obviously not.
Okay, so what's the difference between a kidney and a uterus?
Sorry, say again.
From a body part perspective, they're just a body part, right? They're just a part of your body. So if I don't have the right to use your kidney to support my own life, why does any other human being have the right to use someone else's uterus to support their life?
If I was a woman and I made a choice to have sex with someone that I knew would create a life.
See, this is the problem. Choosing to have sex is not the same as choosing to get pregnant.
And choosing to get pregnant is not the same as choosing to stay pregnant. Ben, I'm talking. Ben, I'm talking.
We have so much birth control.
Okay, Ben, now you're not talking. Consent to sex is not consent to pregnancy. It is consent to the risk of becoming pregnant. And one of the ways to assess that risk is an abortion. Consent to becoming pregnant is not consent to remaining pregnant, because you could very much want to have a kid, and then it turns out that it's an insignificant health risk to you to carry a child to term. Consent to sex is not consent to being forced to remain pregnant against your will. Please stop saying that it is. Those are not the same.
Okay, the one thing I would say, though, is that women have such access to birth control now.
No, so are you saying that all birth control is 100% effective?
No, I'm not saying that.
Are you in favor of abortion? Are you in favor of abortion for someone who gets pregnant despite taking the appropriate precautions?
I don't really have an opinion on it, because
then don't bring it up, because it's stupid.
It
is stupid to say, hey, they could have taken contraceptions. First of all, some people are allergic to them. Second of all, why is the onus on the woman to do that? Why don't you go get a vasectomy and remain sterile until such time as you can't possibly force someone to get pregnant? Because I'll tell you this, what you're missing.
Well, first of all,
I'm talking.
for a start.
What part of I'm fucking talking is too difficult here?
Okay, sorry.
Because what you don't seem to be getting is that this is about privacy and individual autonomy. The second you say that you and the government, which is us, have a right to force someone else to be pregnant against their will, then you are saying they no longer have bodily autonomy. And if you're saying that it's because there's a life involved, well, what about all those privacy issues where there is no life involved? If raping someone causes less harm than killing a fetus, should we allow rape?
Yeah, but the thing you're missing out is that
You
nobody
said,
has
yeah,
to have
but.
sex. Like,
I'm so fucking done with you, Ben. I just asked you if we should allow rape, and the first words out of your mouth were, yeah, but. That either means you weren't listening.
Obviously we shouldn't allow rape. No. Okay, yeah, we shouldn't allow rape. But you're framing it in such a way where you're framing all this stuff where it's like, oh, people have to have sex and you have to have like, things that counteract that. Nobody has to have sex. Nobody's making people have sex.
Nobody should be
right?
fucking you, that's for sure.
Don't have sex.
Absolutely nobody
right?
should be having sex with you. Because you don't respect their rights or their autonomy. Why should somebody have sex with you if you're not willing to respect their rights and their autonomy? You have a vile, disgusting opinion here. And you keep talking and complaining about the way we framed it. I granted you, for the sake of this argument, that it's a person, and your arguments still lose. Then you come back with contraception, which isn't relevant. You're not sure what you think about it. You are sitting here arguing against something. Why? What fucking difference does it make to you if somebody else decides to not remain pregnant?
Because you're killing a person at the end of the day. You're killing something that could be a person.
No, you are removing something that could be a person if you continue to support it. Maybe.
Yeah, in principle, yeah.
So,
but at the end of the day, you're killing a person.
So again, let's go back to the kidney example. Well, let's go back to the kidney example.
It's just my opinion.
Let's go back.
Wait, Jim, I'm going to let you finish, but I'm just going to hang up on Ben, because anybody who gets to, it's just my opinion. Well, cool. Fuck off with your opinion and stop voting.
Right. Again, and there's a reason why I picked a kidney, right? Because we can't live without a kidney. So if I need a kidney and don't get a kidney transplant, I die. That's the exact same situation we're put into with abortion, right? If we don't have a scientific way, a medical way to keep a fetus alive after abortion, that fetus will die. That is an unfortunate side effect of the procedure. But it doesn't have to be if we develop the right technologies, right? And even then, it's up to the woman whether, if she wants that procedure done to her body, it's still her body. But that's what we're talking about. Yes, it is an unfortunate condition that the fetus will die. But that is not what an abortion is. It's not the killing of a fetus. It is a termination of a pregnancy. So if you have an ectopic pregnancy and there's just a couple of cells up there, that's still not a baby. It's still not a human. And we still do an abortion. So abortion is healthcare. This is the point. So if you're going to call the show and try to talk around anything other than what Matt and I have been talking about, which is bodily autonomy, then you're just not going to get anywhere, because that's the only thing that matters is bodily autonomy, period. End of conversation.
It's like, oh, because it results in the death of a person. Well, so does refusing the right to abortion. It just doesn't, making abortion illegal doesn't stop abortions. It stops safe abortions. The people who are going to suffer here and die are people with wombs who are too poor to travel, who situated where they're not allowed to, who are in states where they can't get access to this health care. You want to talk about people dying? There's plenty of people dying all over the place. There's people dying in wars. There's people dying from hunger. And you think that, oh, this clump of cells that may eventually become a person, it's just a person, so we shouldn't be able to kill it. Well, okay, what other rights does that fetus have? I'm not going to ask you, because we have other callers and we've already moved on from Ben. But What other rights does a fetus have, and should a fetus have? I mean, It's bizarre that some people are just like, oh, this is just the way it is.